Welcome, everybody. Just making sure you get your sound adjusted here. This is a recording of everything you need to know, kind of like a quick overview of the orientation process for Duval Charter Southside headed into school year 23-24. We're excited to have you on the Stingray team. We did a new family orientation and we went to the information in this presentation in a little bit more in depth. This is going to kind of be designed more for our returning families or maybe new families who missed it. So we might go at a little bit faster pace to make sure you get the information that you need. So just to go ahead and get started here, as you know, some of the things that we are focused on here is individualizing and personalizing instruction, really working on the whole child. You're going to hear about CSUSA's new promise of strong minds, good hearts. We're also working on making sure they have those skills that they need, and we're partnering with you. So some of the things we do well and we succeed at is listed here on the screen. As you know, we'll be continuing as an A-rated school. In fact, for CSUSA, we're ranked number 10 in the state of Florida, and we're proud to be your choice for schooling your children here in Jacksonville. So again, what do you need to be ready for day one? School starts Monday, August 14th. Class starts at 8. So getting started, I mentioned this in the newsletter. CSUSA has not pushed it live yet, so hoping to see that go live in the next 24 hours, and we'll be reaching out to you. But your e-collection of forms will be done through PowerSchool, and that has all of your annual forms and agreements, and you will get communication when they're ready. And then we ask you to log into PowerSchool and complete your packet before school starts. This keeps us from having all those paper forms that you have to fill out everything a zillion times on. And this way, at our Meet the Teacher, you can really focus on helping your child orient to the building, getting your car tag, meeting the teacher, some basic things to be successful for day one. So just to go over the uniform real quick, as you know, we're ordering from Red Apple Uniform. Their shipping's kind of back on schedule, so it should be shipping much quicker. Some people are needing to make exchanges because they feel like the uniforms are a little bit on the small side. RC Uniform still has some uniforms in stock that you could go and purchase directly on Beach Boulevard. They won't be producing further uniforms in the future, but right now they do still have some stock. Reminder that students in grades K through 4 are in red on top, and on bottom is khaki or navy standard bottoms. All those shorts and pants need to have a belt and the shirt tucked in. Reminder, closed-toe shoes, they can wear their Spirit t-shirts on Friday. They still need to be tucked in. Also, if a headband is worn, it's to hold back hair. It's not just on there as an ornament, and it shouldn't have big giant bows or ears or anything that can be considered distracting. Students in grades 5 through 8 are shifting over to the navy blue or white polo. We're going to be helping 5th graders transition, kind of like a slow transition to middle school, and helping 6th graders maybe transition better than we've experienced in the past. So we now kind of have a 5-6 cohort and a 7-8. So they're going to be in the navy blue and white tops, and then khaki or navy bottoms. And again, a reminder that grades 3 and up, these should not to be drawstring, also not the elastic around the ankles. And we had some people that were almost wearing sweatpants looking ones. We've also, last spring, we're seeing a lot of ladies in tight khakis that were more jeggings or stretchy. Skin tight clothing is not permitted in CSUSA schools. So please make sure it's standard uniform bottoms. They do need to be wearing their belt. Middle school PE to change clothes is optional, but if they do, it has to be the CSUSA uniform for PE. And those aren't school specific. So RC Uniform should have those. Also, all uniform wear on Phillips Highway that used to provide for Mandarin and Flagler and Bay Meadows. They also have the PE uniform. So if you were specifically looking for the PE uniform, your child's an athlete or they want to dress out for PE, those just say CSUSA on those, and they can be purchased at either vendor or ordered through Red Apple. Again, our air conditioning works very well. Some of our classrooms are chilly, so they can use the school issued or purchased jacket or sweater or sweatshirt. No hoodies may be worn. Just to go over the belts real quick, they are required. You'll be getting a belt warning letter, and then detention is kind of how we're moving forward. Last year, we began to try to go back to enforcing the belt policy, which has been in place with CSUSA for years. But previously Southside was not utilizing it, and we started last year. So you're going to find this fall that is something that we're checking daily. And then there'll be a warning process, but they need to be wearing their belt in grades 3 through 8. Grades 1 and 2 is strongly recommended, but not all kids have mastered a belt in the bathroom. So we certainly don't want to have bathroom issues due to a belt. So kindergarten, that is certainly optional. My School Bucks should now have your Jeans Day options posted. You can purchase a Jeans Day pass for just 1 quarter, a semester, or just be done with it and purchase the whole year. Their name goes on a spreadsheet list so that they can wear jeans on Fridays. A reminder, they can't be torn, tattered, or designed to look torn or tattered. No holes, standard blue jeans. If they're shorts, make sure they're of the appropriate length. This money is a fundraiser. It goes to our positive behavior support incentives. So it comes right back to your students and quarterly rewards. So Jeans Day, it is a fundraiser, and that money goes directly back to students. So now we're going to talk our arrival dismissal. As you know, the first few days, it's mostly the new parents, but it does sometimes take a little bit longer. So as far as tardies, we'll be going until that line is kind of done, and it might take us a little bit longer the first few days, but then by midweek or late in the week, please make sure you're arriving campus on time. There's usually an early crowd that needs to get on to work, but around 7:40, 7:45, there's a lull. And then there's people seem to try to zoom in at the end. The car line is supposed to close at 7:55. So if you're just entering campus at 7:59, 8 o'clock, there's no way that your child wouldn't be tardy, because they need to get all the way to the classroom. So please make sure you adjust your morning routine. But certainly these first few days, everybody in Jacksonville returning to school, traffic's worse. Please know that, head out early, but also with our own car line. Also, elementary students must be accompanied to the front office and sign in. They may not sign themselves in late. Also, please don't drop them off early. Okay, you need to enroll in before care if you need early care. So real quick, here's our arrival. We'll probably be starting a little bit early, maybe 7:20, maybe 7:25, just to make sure we clear those lanes out when the bulk of the traffic is arriving. Notice second grade is still listed on both sides. I'll kind of explain the difference. But reminder, when you pull in the parking lot, your older students, you're going to turn right. In the morning, we just run lanes 1 and 4. So you're going to go around the curve, come all the way around to the back, and you'll be at 2 lanes. You're going to unload kind of where the field begins. There's some cones that will indicate the drop-off area. Be extra careful in this zone because students will be out of their cars, and they're going to get out and walk to the crosswalk at the middle or the crosswalk at the front to cross and get safely into the building. We do not open car doors on the backside. Your children need to exit the car independently, which is why this should be students in grades 2 through 8 going around the back in the mornings. Coming in and turning left, the yellow here on the diagram, you're going to weave through the parking lot and come across in front of the front doors. You're going to go around to the side of the building, and we're going to assist and unload 4 to 6 cars at a time in 2 different lanes. Your students need to be ready to get out of the car when the door is opened, and then we will help them get in. Kindergarten, first and second, will have special tags so we know how to get them to and from their classroom. Please make sure that you've labeled their items or have their teacher name, or they know their teacher name, so we can assist them. And you're going to go back out, weave back out to AC Skinner. When you get on AC Skinner, you're going to be headed away from the building. Please know that the backside is going to be entering on that innermost lane. So staying left kind of helps the traffic flow. So again, that's the arrival, brand new kindergarten parents. We went over this in the new family orientation. We're going to walk your kiddo to class, but you're going to be saying goodbye to them in the car lane. It will make it much smoother, much less tears. We get them to class and we have a great day. So that's arrival. Remember, please do not have them alone out there at the doors on any side of the building. It's not safe. Please sign up. There's still spots in before care. We've added staff for both before and after care, so that our goal is to open with no waiting lists for before and after care, so all families can be accommodated. But drop-off time is officially, the earliest would be 7:30 unless they're in before care. Also, please make sure you're staying in the coned area. Please don't damage your car or our cones by going over them. That could be a child. So if there's cones, please stay in the right lanes. Also for the afternoon, please do not change lanes, but please know that we're there. Please be alert, listening to the staff. You should not be on your cell phone. It is considered a Florida violation because it is a rolling area. So you are not to be on your cell phone. So please make sure your music is turned down, your cell phone is down, your eyes are up, because there are students crossing and they may not be paying attention. Real quick note on before and after care, your returning director is Miss Amber Brown. Before care begins at 6:30. You're going to park on the side of the building and you have to walk and sign them in. It is not a drop off. So it starts at 6:30. And then they can be dropped off till about 7:25. After that, you would need to be in that car lane. Aftercare goes till 6 p.m. If you're an aftercare parent, please do not arrive until 3:40 to begin picking up. And we're going to switch over lane 1. You're going to have a different color car tag this year. And we're going to kick you out of lane 1 if you don't have that car tag starting at 3:40, because then it's going to switch over to Amber's staff. And it's going to be lane 1 only at 3:40. So please don't come at 2:45, 3 o'clock wanting to pick up your child and they're in aftercare. Please wait until 3:40. Those first month's payment is past due. So please work with Miss Amber Brown if you need to go ahead and pay for aftercare. Those fee schedules, the application is all online. Just a reminder, if your children need medication, there is a form that has to be signed by you and the doctor. There was a date in June that we have to dispose of all medication that's not been picked up. And so that clinic can now be inspected by the health department and ready to go for new medication drop off. You have to come into the office to drop that off and sign because, for example, if it's pills, we have to count together, the parent and our staff, and sign off that we agree it's the same number. But same thing with EpiPens, inhalers, we need to make sure we have all the directions correct in case of emergency. If your child is vomiting or has fever, they must be 24 hours without medication. Please make sure you come in, see the office staff, check in those medications, and discuss any medical concerns. Cafeteria. So breakfast and lunch, we've changed food vendors. I think it's called Elior K-12. Is replacing our SLA food vendor. We were not satisfied with the contract that we had, and we always aim to have the best. So when it went out to bid, we did select a different vendor for the Jacksonville area schools for CSUSA. They're switching out equipment and staff right now and getting ready to launch service. And they have to deliver all the food to the new fridges and freezers, as well as stock the dry good rooms. So the menu won't be extensive the first 2 weeks or so, that you'll see new items added after that. Also, we're not selling ice cream or any additional snacks in the first 2 weeks. That gives us time to get our lunch line going and smooth, and children knowing the process. You make lunch payments on My School Bucks to deposit in your lunch count. We don't let any child go hungry. We don't just give them a cheese sandwich either. Every child will be fed, even if their account is in the negative. I've seen accounts negative $280, $300. So we can work with you and you can make payments. We are not going to not feed your child. but also therefore communicate with them. Do you want them to purchase breakfast? Do you want them to purchase lunch? So that they're not, some of kids were doubling up on their parents, eating breakfast at home and then coming in and eating breakfast at school. It is not free. And so you need to make sure you're communicating. There is a way in My School Bucks that you can block or choose like when or what they could buy for additional purchases. Okay, money in your school lunch account doesn't go to other accounts. So if sometimes I have parents say, oh, I have 20 extra bucks in their lunch account. Can you move that for the field trip? That goes to our vendor. So the LEO or K-12, so we can't touch their lunch account. We can issue a refund at the end of the school year. There's a deadline to select that if you're leaving. Otherwise, it does roll to the next school year, but we can't touch it and bring it over for other programming. So please be careful when you're paying on My School Bucks. If it's school lunch money, make sure you're putting it in the school lunch part. So dismissal. Okay, there's 3 different ways that they can get home. Okay, a car rider, we might have some van or daycare riders, and a walker with a tag. Okay, you are going to receive your car tag at Meet the Teacher. It's a different software program. All your old car tags need to be thrown away, not just a different look, it's a different number. So it won't work. Throw your old car tags away. We're going to be just printing those on cardstock. We're not going to charge for those unless we're having to give you multiple throughout the year where you keep losing them. Because again, we're just putting them on cardstock. You're going to put that on your dashboard. We'll work through those of you with carpools and making sure we get those car tags names together. If you don't have a car tag, you're going to have to pull over so we can check ID, and you might be sent to park at the front and wait until 3:45 if there's not areas to pull up. So this is very important that someone from your family comes to Meet the Teacher, because otherwise you need to come during the school day from like 8:30 to 2 to pick up your car tag. Otherwise, you're not going to be allowed to be dismissed through the regular lanes. So let's talk through our dismissal. Okay, so here's a diagram. If your youngest is in kinder or first, and then actually we added second, so K1, 2. So these are your younger kids in the K2 area. They don't have siblings in grades 3 through 5, and they don't have siblings in middle school. They're actually, you'll see on the next slide, we've changed their dismissal time. But you're going to be allowed to enter campus as early as 2:15. It will be blocked off prior to then. And then at 2:15, which is 30 minutes prior to dismissal, you would follow this yellow pattern, and we will load you into the cars, and then you'll head back off of campus. Okay, so this is for K2. So it's at 2:45. That's a change in dismissal time this year. We've been sending it out and sending it out. Okay, so this really is going to be for K2 kids with no older siblings. Your oldest child is in 2nd grade, or your oldest child is in 1st grade, or you only have a kinder. This is the dismissal time and location. Okay, don't arrive before 2:15. You will be considered loitering and need to be in a parking space. You're also blocking the road. If I was to need to bring in an ambulance or a fire truck, heaven forbid, for your child, you're blocking the safe entrance to the school. So please do not arrive early. Okay, on early release days, this dismissal time would be 12:30. We're going to be putting that back out closer to August 30th, our first early dismissal day. But again, K2 has a new dismissal time, and these are kids with no older siblings. So their classes are going to end at 2:45 for K through 2, but we'll hold your children in their classroom if they do have older siblings. But we're going to go ahead and get safely off of campus any kindergartner without an older sibling, 1st and 2nd grade. If all your kids are in 2nd grade or below, that's your dismissal time, which means your pickup is 2:45 to 3:15. At 3:30, that area will close. You'll need to park, come to the office with a photo ID and a debit card. The fees are listed in the handbook, but they start at $15 per child. You're not going to go around jet back and join the middle school pickup. It's unsafe because they're not walked to their cars. And those kids are in class till 3:15. You'll be sent all the way back around to park at the front office. We're not going to start late pickup fees until August 21st. That gives us 2 weeks to get everything standardized for you to work with who in your family will be picking up so that you can ensure that they're picked up by 3:15. Your grace period goes till 3:30. So just in case there's traffic, but your pickup is 2:45 to 3:15. Moving along to if you have children in 3rd or 4th grade, okay? Again, families with multiple children will connect with the oldest. But if your oldest is in 3rd or 4th grade, then this is your dismissal time. Or if you only have 3rd or 4th graders in your household, this is your dismissal time. So if you have a kindergartner and a 4th grader, then this would be your dismissal arrangements, okay? You're going to be entering and going around back, and you're going to stay closest to the school. The back entranceway is not going to open until 2:30. That's 30 minutes prior. We can use that area back there for PE, biking classes with our PE kids. So we need those lanes. So we're not going to clog up campus with cars. So do not arrive before 2:30. An early release, this will be a 12:45 dismissal. And let's switch over to the picture. So if your oldest is in 3rd or 4th grade, I need to actually, if they have K1, they would go with them. Now they have a different dismissal time. So I need to update that, but it would be coming around closest to the school because you have younger children. Now I always have students that then get in these gray lanes and that are out on the outer loop, and those students are in class till 3:15. So those lanes aren't moving. Those cars are just sitting there. That's because their children are in school until 3:15. So these inner 2 lanes are going to move, and they're going to move at shorter intervals because we're not going to load as many cars at one time. So this is children in K through 4. So if the oldest in your class is in 4th grade in your family, then this is where you pick up. Your pickup is from 3 to 3:30. We would give you a 15-minute grace period, but at 3:45, you'd be directed to park and come in. We'll call for your child. Again, I have to pay my office staff overtime, so your fees are listed, but start at $15 per child, okay? Entering campus and being in the middle school lines will not work, as your car tag is going to be a different color, and your child will be in a different pickup. Lane 340, lane 1 becomes aftercare only. So if you're arriving near the tail end of your pickup in that 3 to 3:30 window, you'll need to head to lane 2. Again, we'll start late pickup fees August 21st. And that's when your grace period ends at 3:45. Your children get out of school at 3 and your pickup ends at 3:30. And we would have a 15-minute grace period window, but then at 3:45, they've been out of school for 45 minutes. We would need to charge that late fee. So dismissal is 3:15 for grades 5 through 8. So if your oldest child in your household is in grades 5 through 8, this is your dismissal time for them and all their younger children. Okay, they're going to connect with the oldest child. So they're going to stay in their kindergarten room. They're going to stay in their 2nd grade, their 3rd or their 4th if they have older kids in their household. 5th and 8th graders are in class until 3:15. They have instructional minute requirements for middle school to get promoted to the high school, and they're in class till 3:15. Then we begin just sending them downstairs to even get ready to dismiss. So these lanes aren't going anywhere till about 3:25. So sometimes I have parents call frustrated, these lanes aren't moving, and lanes 3 and 4, those kids are in class. They're receiving instruction till 3:15. So don't arrive to campus early. There's really no point. You will just sit in a hot car because those 2 lanes don't even begin loading till almost 3:25. Then the first set of cars is going to move, and we load a lot of children at one time. So it's like the lane you might move up the entire lane. We move half the cars at one time. So they're going to move less frequently and load more cars. Okay, if you have middle schoolers, they need to hold on to their little sibling's hand or be monitoring their little younger siblings. They do get pretty well trained, but just keeping an eye on their siblings, okay? On early release days, their dismissal time will be 1 p.m. Little bit of a change. So we're going to be enforcing CSUSA says that they should not be leaving class after 2 p.m. If they have a doctor's or dentist appointment, they need to be picked up by 2 p.m. because then we're going to shut down the office to ready for dismissal, to have a safe dismissal process. So we do not release students from the front office after 2 p.m. We have too many parents just trying to at times sign their kid out early so they need to go somewhere and avoid the car line, but they're missing instructional time and it's disrupting the instructional time of the other students. So it really needs to be for a valid doctor's or dentist appointment. So they would have to be dismissed before 2 o'clock. We have high expectations that you're going to meet this and work with us to only take your child out of class when they have a doctor's or dentist appointment and provide us documentation afterwards. We'll be tracking this and following back up with families. So K2 car lines start at 2:15. So back loop opens at 2:30. Please, again, do not come to campus early. If a child was to be injured or we were to need to bring medical equipment in, we don't want to have to have everything jammed up too early. And if it's closer to dismissal time, we want less cars that we would need to be able to move out. So here is the dismissal process. If your oldest child is in 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th grades, so their siblings, you're going to follow this orange track around the outer loops. That's what we call lanes 3 and 4. So they're further away from the building. Again, remember, you can line up around 3:15 or so, but the kids aren't even going to come down from their classrooms till 3:15. We got to get them organized, lined up, and loaded. So those cars are not going to be moving. There's no point in coming to campus really early. Let some of those K-4 cars get out of our way so that then we can dismiss your children. So if you have a child in middle school, these are going to be your 2 lanes over here. Okay, your pickup is 3:15 to 3:45. We do get it down to a 30-minute window. At 4 o'clock, you would need to park, come into the office. Your grace period would be over. Again, you're not going to be in lane 1. That was aftercare, and they're going to have a different color tag. So I have parents that say, oh, I was in the aftercare line. That's why I'm just pulling up now. No, we're going to make sure that aftercare is in lane 1 starting at 3:40. Again, it's $15 per child. Please, if you're in lanes 1 or 2 and you have a middle schooler, you're going to be sent all the way back around to join the end of the line. We just have nowhere for you to pull over and wait, and it causes an issue for the younger car line lanes. And we need to save those. So if you're in lane 1 or 2 and you have a middle schooler, you ask to be turned right on AC Skinner, go all the way around, turn around at some point, come back, enter campus, and get back into the back side of lanes 3 and 4. So middle school, please, please, please make sure you're in lanes 3 and 4 and not lane 1 and 2. And again, we'll start late pickup fees at 4 o'clock, and those will be after the first 2 weeks of school. So again, you have to have your car tag. If you're picking up additional children, make sure you have their car tags, copies of their car tags. We're switching. Silent Dismissal is our new app, not School Pass, and we'll be sending out more information. But right now, we're just kind of, if you have multiple children in a carpool, you would have multiple car tags, and then we'll streamline you as we make sure the new software is running well. Aftercare, again, this is your pickup, lane 1 going around the back, starting at 3:40. Only the aftercare car tags will be permitted in lane 1 out back. So that it goes all the way till 6 p.m. Yes, the first few days, it's a little bit longer of a line. Even after 5 o'clock, the line is long at times, as the aftercare personnel are learning your children's names and where they are and making sure they get safely down to the cafeteria to be dismissed. So please give aftercare a little grace the first few days. I know you're hot and tired and have just finished a long days of work, but please make sure we're safely getting your child to you. Okay, again, we're switching to a system called silent dismissal instead of school pass. Our 3-year contract with school pass is up. We were paying for a lot of bells and whistles that parents weren't necessarily using. We weren't necessarily using. So a lot of our CSUSA schools use silent dismissal. So we're switching over to them. Reminder, if you want to add a driver, we can't do that via the phone. So before 2 p.m., you need to work with the front office. You can email it in if it's the email account that's listed in PowerSchool. And if it's not, then we would need a copy of a driver's license with it to add permissions to pick up. So it's going to be important that you double check those for PowerSchool for this year with your e-collect process to make sure you know who's authorized to pick up your children. PowerSchool, it's a very important tool. You should be checking your grades weekly. It's a way for you to look at attendance, their schedules, their class assignments, making sure they're turning in their work on time, their grades. Everything, is kind of housed right there in PowerSchool. So if at Meet the Teacher, you need to pick up a new sheet on how to log in to your parent account on PowerSchool, please see the PowerSchool station at Meet the Teacher if you need your login information. Reminder, we're back to volunteer hours post-pandemic. So we're asking that each family commit to 20 hours a year for one child or 30 years for multiple children. You're going to log your own hours in PowerSchool. It works best on the desktop. It does not have the app or mobile device. This Wednesday morning from 8 to 9 a.m. If there's anybody available, Mr. Kevin's been working on painting our bike trailer. Mr. Kevin, our speech language pathologist, is going to start back up some biking clubs, and our trailer for the bikes, when it was stolen, someone camo painted it. He's put on a first coat, but he needs some help. So Wednesday morning from 8 to 9, if you're available. He also, I think, is needing some rollers or paint brushes if you have those to come with you. So again, that's a volunteer opportunity this Wednesday morning. We'll be sending out more. The newsletter also had our first PTC date. We tend to do this during the lunch hour virtually, and we've had like 40 to 70 people join on. We're going to leave the virtual option, but we're going to bring back the on-site as well. Attending the meeting gives you volunteer hours. Be involved. Have a say-so in changes. Again, safety is always our number one priority. We do our safety drills monthly, different types. Also, our staff always lead the way. They make sure they visually sweep the area. You're going to be asked to respond at the front door to the outside speaker on why are you here. You have to show picture ID. Inside the building, a car tag is not your identification. Okay, also the Raptor system, that's where we scan your state issued ID, driver's license or ID card to gain access to the building. Teachers also have a mobile panic button, and we continue to add safety, physical improvements, all of which we obviously aren't going to necessarily share to help protect, but we're constantly adding things. Also, a reminder, we do not take phone calls to add somebody. That can lead to issues. Maybe there's custody issue or other things, and we want to make sure we have the right people allowed to pick up. So reminder, first day of school is August 14th. You're not going to walk your child to class, even if they're brand new, even if they're in kindergarten. So we really need you to come to Meet the Teacher Day. We'll be resending out those time slots. It's also in the newsletter. It's Thursday, and then kindergarten are going to be Friday morning. Okay, if you don't attend Meet the Teacher, you won't have your car tag. Make sure you label how your child gets home, and you'll need to come during the school day, sometime between 8:30 and 2 to get that car tag. Otherwise, we probably won't be able to assist you anywhere from 3:45 to maybe 4 o'clock. The first day, car line might finish up around 4:15, 4:30. Until we get all these new cars trained. A reminder, please be patient. We always have new families that we kind of have to train in the process. So please, please, please bring your patience. again, don't arrive to campus too early because that's just more time that you have to sit there and wait. So please bring your patients to the car line, but you definitely are going to need that car tag to make it smooth. So who's my child's teacher? Okay, that's when you come to meet the teacher and find that out. We're still leveling classes this week, making sure right now, like for example, I had to make some changes at 3rd and 4th grade because when we reviewed the math data, we didn't have exactly the right kids in the right advanced math classes that we offer in 3rd through 8th, but particularly 4th grade, we need to make some changes. So again, that's why we give out teacher assignments that meet the teacher. You're going to be able to drop off supplies so they don't have to bring those all in. Please make sure you're getting their uniforms ready. You need your car tags, walkers. They're gonna need a walker ID badge. So you're gonna have to see the walker station to get a walker pass for your children. Make sure you're taking care of before and after care. Currently, we do not have a waiting list. We added more staff and our goal is to start without a waiting list. But if you have not registered by now, you're running the risk of us being on our waiting list by the end of the week. So please, please, please go ahead and take care of that. Okay, now on My School Bucks is the Jeans Day passes. There is yearbooks from last year still on there. I think we have like 12 left or 10 left. And then Spirit shirts. We're supposed to have those in by Meet the Teacher. I think she's gone ahead and posted it with a picture of it. I'll be sending out communication to remind you about Meet the Teacher, and I'll put it in there. You can go ahead and order your Spirit shirts. And we are doing the bundled package where you could get this year's yearbook in the spring, a year-long Jeans Day pass, a Spirit shirt, all that for the gold package. Kind of do it once and be done with it. At Meet the Teacher, we'll have our vendors like our art club, our dance teacher, Little Shot Soccer, Happy Feet Soccer. There's one more I'm thinking, and Play Ball. So they will also be at Meet the Teacher for signups and visiting the rooms. Again, if you can't make that time period work, unfortunately, the teachers are going to be in meetings and writing their lesson plans for the first 2 weeks. So they are not necessarily going to be available at other time periods. So they are only available during that time slot that you've been assigned. I think we're going to have Kona Ice out there as well to maybe buy a sweet treat for your children. And those proceeds, they always give us a healthy check back to the school. Reminder for new families, if you are new to public schools, you're coming into Florida, you're new from private school, or you're new kindergarten, you do need to fill out the registration on Duval County Public Schools. You don't need to upload your documents there, but you need to fill this out to get a student number. It's slowing down my office staff a little bit to try to go through. It's really supposed to be parent generated. We already had our summer bash, so skip that from the new family orientation. So again, I'm your principal, Amanda Sauer. If I can be of help, please email me. I had some family illness going on in the spring, so I know I had a little bit of a lag or a backlog, but I should be back to 24 hours to 48 hours if you send me an email. I have a new assistant principal, Miss Abby Neal, so she'll be assisting me as well. And also if you have enrollment questions, Miss Tatiana Martinez. So again, call the front office. We also have the sample size uniforms here in the lobby if you'd like to come look at them. But we are very excited about next Monday. Teachers are readying their rooms, attending trainings, and we're getting everything geared up to welcome you back. So again, thank you for being your choice for school education here in Jacksonville, and we look forward to seeing you soon.